Hi, I'm Joy. As you know, there is this one tricky road that I've been testing FSD Beta on since October 2021. However, after the last test and video, I feel that I don't need to test FSD Beta on that street anymore because I no longer have to disengage FSD Beta. It maneuvers those mini runabouts perfectly now. And I would say FSD Beta is now working 90% perfectly. So I discovered another weird intersection that FSD Beta has been having issue maneuvering. So I will make this my new test route to show you FSD Beta progress. And I am making a disclaimer up front that this is an outlier or edge case of FSD Beta because there have been people using my video, twisting the ability of FSD Beta and attacking Tesla and Elon Musk on this technology. So this is a disclaimer that the 90% of my drive is totally fine. It just this last 10% that Tesla needs to refine the algorithm. And I would like to show Tesla this weird intersection so that as I continue to test out this route, they will continue to improve FSD Beta just like they did with the tricky street. On our way there, we will be making a left turn onto an intersection that immediately splits into two directions. And our route, after making that left turn, needs to go over to the right split of the street instead of going left. The car has occasionally turned left onto the right lane, the right street, but 98% of the time, I would still have to disengage and get my car over to the correct lane. So that is challenge number one. Challenge number two is on the return route. Again, at that same intersection, I will be making a left, but there is a place right before we get into the left turning lane where the lane will get really wide and it splits into left turning and right turning. And FSD Beta would always be dead center, which could be confusing to other cars that would either go left or right. So I would always have to, again, disengage and yank my car over to stick to the left turning lane. This happens about, I would say, 70 to 80% of the time. But again, I want to highlight this so Tesla can fix the algorithm and make it better. And then the last challenge is while choosing the left turning lane, there are 3 lanes that you can turn left on. And Beta would always sort of get confused on which lane it should stay in. And then it would just randomly signal right or left, and stops. And then right or left, and stops. And it would be confusing for people that are following behind me thinking, why is this car signaling like crazy? So this is my new test route to test FSD Beta on, and let's get on the road. All right, here we go. The first challenge, after we turn on this street and at the red light, the traffic light up ahead, in 500 we need to make a left. Boulevard. Then keep right to take Jefferson Boulevard. And this is where the road gets really weird because it's going to split into 2, one going this way and one going that way. And we need to get on that side. So yeah, like I said, 98% of the time I would have to disengage. And just because FSD is following the traffic rule where after you turn left, it sticks to the left lane instead of going to that right lane where it's supposed to get onto. So I'm hoping that Tesla can fix this path planning algorithm so that they know when you have an intersection, tight intersection turning like this, left and immediately a right, or right and immediately a left, it will be able to navigate over to the correct lane without following, you know, the actual traffic rule. So here's an unprotected turn, which it did perfectly, but we need to go over there. So I have to disengage here. So this is a challenge that I hope FSD Beta will be able to improve on. And now let me go ahead and turn back around and show you the other two challenges coming back on the other side of the road. Okay, we're gonna turn right back onto the street that we came from. And I noticed also right here, sometimes FSD Beta would get a little confused too, because there are two left turning lane, even though the lane that I'm in can also go straight. So sometimes I want to stay in this lane because at the next light, I'm going to turn right, but the car would try to navigate me over to this lane while I'm here waiting for the traffic light, which is kind of confusing. So it's just a little bit of the final, 5% that FSD needs to solve. But it's not as annoying as what's going to come up next. So here we are. And this lane is going to split into two up front at the traffic light coming up. But the thing is, it's so wide and the lane marking isn't until like the very last second. So the car would stay in the middle and the cars behind me would get confused. Like, are you trying to go straight or are you trying to go right? So I hope that Tesla will fix the algorithm based on the route planning so that in the future, if I'm supposed to go that way, then the car will stick to the right side of that wide lane. And if I'm going straight like I'm going now, then the car would stick to the left. And here's the last challenge. There are 3 left turning lanes here. And see, like right now, the car is trying to change into that lane to follow route. And then, no, this is fine. You can turn left. And then it signal right, but then it didn't go all the way to the right. So it's like really, really annoying. And a lot of times when I'm sitting in traffic, waiting for this light, this is a very, very long traffic light, the car would randomly start signaling left for a few seconds, and then it will stop, and then it will signal right, and it will stop, and it's just super confusing. So Tesla, if you're watching this video, please, please, please fix this, because now I don't have that camera feedback icon anymore. See, now it's like it doesn't know which lane to go to. See, this is like so confusing. What are you doing? Yeah, so this intersection is super, 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 super weird that Tesla needs to fix. And most of the time, I don't want to actually turn onto this lane because up ahead on that street, you have curbside parking during certain hours of the day. So if you go all the way up and if you turn onto this lane, you are going to get stuck behind whatever car that's parked here. For example, this police cruiser right now. So then you have to wait for the traffic on this side to like, you know, die down, and then you can cut over. So it's just really annoying. So again, I hope that Tesla can fix this. Here goes another weird, tricky, challenging FSD Beta outlier scenario for me to test on. And I will continue to drive on this route and show you guys how FSD Beta updates are performing and dealing with these weird scenarios. I hope Tesla will be able to fix the route planning and make it better so that it will behave more like human, and it will anticipate turns and signalings more like how we human would think and react to those scenarios. Thank you so very much for coming along on this ride with me. I will see you in the next video, and God bless.